Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? You know that moment in every gacha game's life cycle where they drop a unit so bizarrely specific, so overtuned, and underwhelming at the same time that you're left wondering if you're being gaslit. Yeah, well, Chakona is that resonator that pulls you into an emotional roller coaster simply by just existing or by being away. Chakona is low-key, one of the most fascinating units ever released. Not just because she's the first limited arrow support or because she's pioneering direct arrow erosion application, but because she rewrites what it means to be broken in a meta where flashiness is usually mistaken for strength. The question isn't just, is she good? It's why does she feel so absurdly efficient while doing almost nothing? She's like a wind-powered ghostwriter for your team's damage output. Silent, subtle, and absolutely lethal if you let her do her thing. As the saying goes, you don't work hard, you work smart. And in this video, I want to talk about Chakona and what I think about this absurdly amazing unit. So let's dive in. Chacona's kit is a surreal mashup of Yang Yang's forte gauge mechanics and what feels like a weirdly vivid attempt to convert a full wind symphony into a fourth, maybe even a fifth resonator all by herself. She builds up forte from her intro skill and her oddly specific fourth basic attack, which sounds simple until you realize her basic attack chain doesn't obey normal combat logic. It's like someone took the rulebook for auto attacks and politely shredded it. Even at a laughable low 110% energy regen, she rockets into liberation as if the button's on a hair trigger, ready to detonate before you've even processed the rotation. It's not just efficient, it's suspiciously, almost comically fast, like the game is playing along with the joke. Depending on how she enters the field, intro, mid-air combo, or skill, she starts at different basic attack stages. It's like she's speedrunning her own moveset. Canceling basic 4 with anything drops a silk that finishes the attack for her, like it's some Harry Potter wizardry shiz. But here's where Chakona flexes her elegance. Basic 4 applies arrow erosion, and dropping that Sylph mid-animation doesn't just look cool. It grants a permanent arrow damage buff. Now, add a mid-air cancel into her forte, then dodge cancel that, and suddenly, Chakona isn't just performing a rotation, she's going airborne. Possessed by the spirit of caffeinated jazz improvisations, it's a kit that dares you to be stylish and rewards you with pure, swirling devastation. And then, her liberation enters recital state, which lets her pulse arrow erosion or spectral frazzle. Want erosion? Swap out after the first tick. Want frazzle? Wait for the first pulse. Want both? Sorry, but she's not that kind of a girl. Oh, and her outro multiplies arrow erosion damage by 100%. And her rotation is delightfully simple yet devastatingly efficient. Open with her intro to kickstart the tempo, then immediately follow with her basic force to get those two silks, canceling mid-air the fort to speed things up. Once ready, go for her skill and forte circuit until you can cast her liberation nuke. That's when you swap out, given you've allowed her to stay for one tick if your incoming is an erosion unit. For Spectral Frazzle, you need to tick Frazzle manually once at least. Crisp, efficient, absolutely lethal for the most part. As for teams, Chakona slots into more comps than you'd expect from someone whose strongest asset is idling. Personally, I love running her with Phoebe and the Shorekeeper, or with Rover and the Shorekeeper. Both teams have enough punch to clean out at least one top wing of the Tower of Adversity with minimal sweat. If you want to go full aero aggression, Gion and Mortifi with Ciaccona make for a clean and fast-paced team that abuses her erosion debuff to the fullest. Zani, Phoebe, and Ciaccona also makes for an unexpected smooth and resilient squad, offering shielding and enough off-field damage to keep the screen cluttered. And yes, even something as cursed sounding as Chakona with Sanwa and Rover somehow works. No matter your preference, whether you want meta clears or experimental fun, Chakona adapts. She doesn't just fit the team, she makes the team better. And of course, once cartethyia is out, expect Chakona to be there to spice things up with the Rover. Pure bliss. So, what's the verdict? Is Chakona good? Absolutely, but not in the way you're expecting. Chakona isn't your typical flash and bang unit. She won't top damage charts or solo bosses in a flurry of crits. Her attack animation is so fast and smooth that she deals so much damage in the few seconds she's on the field. And her damage isn't a pushover either. She can deal enough to be significant in combat. And this is where Chakona shines like gold. What she will do is quietly supercharge your strongest characters while barely moving a muscle. And you know exactly who I am talking about here. She's the silent architect behind your biggest numbers, a surgical debuffer who amplifies damage from the shadows. And if you enjoy precise, skill-based mid-air combos, she rewards you with satisfying aerial fluidity. If your playstyle is more about sending in the heavy hitters, she's the unseen hand boosting their payloads. And if you're the kind of player who appreciates cooldown micromanagement and calculated tempo, she offers unmatched value while you barely lift a finger. Because sometimes, the most broken units are the ones who do the least, and do it best. Or just press liberation and go make a sandwich. Your call. Speaking of cartethyia, if you're wondering whether you need Chakona for the latest Sentinel's Resonator, the answer is not really. She's not essential by any means, but having her in the squad just makes things smoother and a lot more fun. Chakona helps speed up the stacking of erosion stacks that cartethyia relies on to really pop off with damage. Is it a huge loss if you don't have her? Definitely not. Will your fingers work a little harder? Maybe. Is she mandatory? Nope. But cartethyia not the only one Chakona plays well with. So, whether you pick her up or not depends entirely on how much spice you like in your rotations. If you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, please leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on future content. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.